So another video here on partial fractions. So one trap to avoid is when looking at a problem like this. Once people learn partial fractions, that's usually their go-to move here on a problem like this. So we need to be careful. We have to realize that the bottom degree has to be bigger than the top in order to do partial fractions. So if we have a degree that's bigger on the top, we've worked with a lot of problems this year already like this. So just keep in mind we have to do long division on this to break this down into separate terms so we can go ahead and integrate. So that's always the move when the degree is bigger. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So long division. So we have a shortcut for partial fractions. And I know you're going to be mad that I didn't show you this in the first place, but we need to know why it works. There are people that like the long method as opposed to the shortcut, so we have options. I always like to give people options with math. There's always more than one way to do something. So looking here, what we're going to do is we're going to start it off the same way. We're going to factor out the bottom. Okay. So we have x minus 5, x minus 1 on the bottom. Okay, so we can go ahead and kind of set up our integral here. So here's the shortcut. We take our factors, put them down here, just like we would at the end of our system of equation process. So right now, so I'm gonna, let's see if I can get this. Yeah, it's not really working out for me. Okay. So what we do is we look at the first factor and we think about what would make that be 0 for that factor there. So if I were to plug a 5 in, 5 minus 5 is 0. So x is 5. Okay, so we have 5 in our mind. So what we're going to do is we're going to cover that factor up, the one that we just zeroed out. And we're going to plug in 5 into all of our x's on the top and the bottom. Okay? So we have 5 minus 4 all over 5 minus 1. So we end up with 1 over 4. So 1/4 is the number that we put over the first term, the one that we canceled out. So 1/4 goes up here. So that's our a value. All right. So we have that. So that was for that one. Now we look at the second one. What would zero this out? Well, x is 1 would zero this out. So we're going to go ahead and cover that up. We're thinking about x is 1. We're going to plug that into the top and the bottom of these two. So x is 1, right? Yep. X is 1. Plug that in. We have 1 minus 4 and 1 minus 5. So we end up with -3 over -4, which is 3/4. So we go ahead and we put 3/4 above that factor that we zeroed out. Okay? And we're done. And we can go ahead and integrate this like we would. So that's a shortcut. And I can help you through that process if you have any questions about it. But it's the same thing every time, and you do it for all fractions. So like in the problem that we had in the other video with the three fractions, we would do it to all the x's not in that fraction. So let me know if you have any questions on that. But again, if you don't like the shortcut, you can use the long method, and so on and so forth.